My name is Jeremy,
And I'm Christy.
and we're going to be the new East Campus pastors, and this is our story. In my 20s, I had been married, and it was a couple years into our marriage where we decided we wanted to start having a family. And it didn't take too long to realize that it just wasn't happening for us. So we went to a fertility doctor and found out that it was going to be very hard for me to be able to naturally conceive a child. So we went through artificial insemination, in vitro, spent thousands of dollars trying to have a baby, and nothing seemed to work. It was around the same time that we were going through the infertility where I ended up getting heavily addicted to opiates and ended up leading to my wife and I at that point getting divorced. And it wasn't too long after that where my life was completely out of control, went through Teen Challenge, and that's where I met the Lord. After going through Teen Challenge, I went to a Bible college in Jessup, Georgia. That's where I met Christy, and well, we got married. In our relationship, I had to tell her that I was not going to be able to have children, that I was broken, and at the time, she was actually okay with it. You know, she said she loved me, and she was fine with the fact that we might never be able to have children. And inside of me, that's something that breaks your heart because, you know, you don't really know if that person really wants children. And it was something hard for me to even have to tell her. And it didn't take long into our marriage where God started to really change her heart.
Yeah, not long into our marriage, that desire to become a mother just really started to take hold, and I really wanted to have a baby. And so obviously Jeremy and I, we had those conversations, and I just had this feeling and this knowing that we were going to have a child, and I just can't explain where that came from. I think back to like 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 9, it talks about like having that gift of faith, that you can just, the Holy Spirit gives you this gift of faith, and I really feel like that's what it was, because it was beyond me, and it was beyond just the scope of any kind of understanding. I just really knew that God was going to give us a child and had promised that to me. And we had actually also, we had went not long after that to a teen challenge center to minister. And while we were there, one of the staff members prayed over us, and he prophesied over us that we were going to have a child. And we just broke down in tears. I can remember that moment. Because it was just another confirmation. That God was going to do this for us. He kind of struggled with that, to be honest, because he's like, I don't know if you want to share that.
Yeah, for me, I've been through infertility, and
Yeah.
it was a painful thing to go through. And when I'm watching my wife get her hopes up and
Like, I know this
believing
is
that she's going to have this child, I mean, honestly, it broke my heart because I did not believe. I did not believe that it was possible. You know, I was already 40 years old, and I felt like, for me, that was just not in the cards. Even though I had this desire to be a father for such a long time, I just did not believe that was going to happen for us.
Fast forward, it really wasn't even that long after we visited the fertility doctor. I want to say about 6 months. We had actually moved to Fort Myers at the time, and I sent Jeremy. He was actually ministering at a rally with Teen Challenge, and I stayed home because I wasn't feeling well that morning, and I sent him a picture of our two positive pregnancy tests, and so I was pregnant. And
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, when I got that picture, I was just coming off the stage, and I just happened to look at my phone and see that picture, and I have never lost it like that. I went right to the pew. I just went on my knees and just started to bawl in front of the whole church. And I just remember people probably wondering, what in the world is wrong with this guy? It was a good service, but not that good, you know. But I just could not believe what I was seeing. When you've been let down month after month after month, and then you see that positive result, it felt all too good to be true. Like, this can't really be happening. Like, something is going to go wrong.
And it didn't. You know, God he blessed us throughout the pregnancy, had a very smooth pregnancy. I can remember just like praying over my belly and just like thanking God so much Javen once we found out it was a boy. But just thanking God for this precious child that he had given us, and our miracle, this baby that the Lord had blessed us with. And it's something that we definitely didn't take for granted, and we still do not take for granted. We are so grateful for Javen and just for this family that the Lord has blessed us with. And so, like, for me, like when the Lord spoke that promise to me, like it was unshakable, and it was just a knowing. And when he promises you something, he does come through, and he is a God of miracles, and he's a God of even whatever man says is impossible. It's not impossible for him. He's a God that works in the impossible.
Just when we were going to throw in the towel, the king had one more move.